What's up, guys? I've never really made a video like this, but I feel like it's something a lot of people need to hear. And if you're watching this video and you read the title, it's probably because you feel stagnant, you feel like you're not really making a lot of progress in life, or maybe you're just curious how it is that you take the next step to reach that next goal. How do you go from 0 to 100? How do you go from a 10K month to an 100K month? And I'm going to tell you that it's about betting on yourself. It's about always betting on yourself. And what I mean by that is that throughout your journey to success, there will be hundreds of failures. Before I got to where I am now, and just to put in context, 3 years ago, I didn't really have a dollar to my name. And now I'm 21 years old and I make a couple $100,000 a month. And it even blows my mind to say that now, because I remember perfectly not having any money to even afford groceries 3 years ago. And now one of my biggest problems is deciding which supercar I want. And I don't say this to flex. I don't say this to piss anyone off. I'm just trying to put in context how possible achieving your dream life is if you continue investing in yourself, if you continue betting on yourself. And this didn't just happen overnight for me. This wasn't luck. This was through trial and error. Dating all the way back to high school, I always wanted to make money. I was one of those few people out of all my friends who was always hustling, trying to make money online, building a brand, investing in crypto, drop shipping, whatever it is. I tried it all, bro. I started with trying to drop ship. That failed pretty quickly. I never made it far with that. Then I started a clothing brand. The clothing brand actually went well for a bit, and I was making my first couple $1,000s a month, and it was cool. But with lack of maturity and experience in business, I didn't know how to scale that. I didn't know how to double down on that really and take it to the next level. So that slowly died out. Along the way, while I was building my clothing brand, I also started making custom rugs. I saw a video on TikTok of these people that would tuft rugs with this machine, and you would make these really cool rugs. And I was like, I could fucking do that for sure. This doesn't look hard. And so I bought all the gear with the money that I had made from my clothing brand, and I started making rugs for people. I would do custom rugs. I'd make I would charge $400, even $800 sometimes. It would take me 3-4 hours to make, and I was making $4,000 or $5,000 a month doing this. And I could have made way more, but I wasn't really sure how to delegate the work, how to delegate my time properly, how to just take it to that next level. And I was in high school, like I said, so I didn't really have that experience. I didn't know what it looked like to scale a business. And so eventually that kind of died out. And that happened with a lot of things. As my mental was growing, as I was understanding more as a person, truly what it takes to build an empire, to build something great and sustainable. And so after I left to college, obviously I couldn't bring all that rug making stuff with me. So I went back to the clothing brand. I started working on my clothing brand again, and I was still pulling in a couple thousands of dollars a month. But I was getting comfortable. I was spending all the money I was making on stupid shit, buying other clothes and going out, traveling, whatever. And sure, I made great experiences, but I let a really good business slip away through my fingers. Now, am I mad at myself? No, because I think shit like that needs to happen for you to learn in life what it takes to actually build something that can continue growing and keep producing a lot of money. And it wasn't just a business model that needed to be improved back then, it was my mindset. I had a really poor way of thinking where every time I would hit certain accomplishments, I would get comfortable, celebrate, blow all that money, and then I had nothing left to invest in myself. I had nothing left to bet on myself again. And that was my biggest problem. And so then I started learning how to trade. And as I was starting to see success with trading, this time I told myself, okay, this is a skill I actually want to really get good at. This is something I'm passionate about. It felt competitive in the sense that I wanted to prove myself that I could do it. This wasn't about anybody else. A shitload of people doubted me. They told me, oh, that's never going to work. Only 1% of people make it in trading. And I didn't really give a fuck, because to me, it wasn't necessarily about the money. It was more so just about proving myself that I could be good at this. It seemed like something I could be good at, and I wanted to find out. And so I spent months trying to learn, getting mentored by one of my best friends who made $100,000 day trading at 18. And I was so passionate about it. And I was so in love with the process of it. And I remember telling myself, as I was getting better at trading and starting to make money, that I wasn't going to do what I did before and just blow all my money the second I made it. That this time I was going to double down and try to scale it so my profits could scale and I could actually start building something great, something that could truly sustain the lifestyle that I've always envisioned. And I remember literally 4 years ago, 3 years ago, I have videos and notes on my notes app of me saying, I'm gonna have my dream car, I'm gonna have this, I'm gonna have all these things. And I would write it down like I was fucking delusional. I would wake up every single morning and tell myself, I'm rich, I'm successful, I'm all these things. Because you need to be delusional. And you hear this a lot from really successful people, that you have to be crazy. You have to be delusional. You have to trust that everything will play out and that you will become that person that you envision all the time. Because in my mind, and what I've realized in life, is that those people who can envision a future that they're super successful and have all these things, if you can envision it, it is already a reality. What do you need to do? You need to work backwards now. Look at that person, look at that version of yourself that has all these amazing things, your dream car, your dream house, supports your family and friends, and is traveling the world. What would that person be doing right now to get to where they got to? And that's how you have to start thinking. You have to use that future successful version of yourself to hold you accountable. And I remember thinking, as I was getting better at trading, I was like, once I was making money, I started thinking, the version of me that's making 100K plus a month from trading, would they spend all this money right now on jewelry, buy a bunch of chrome hearts, buy a bunch of stupid shit? Or would they double down, invest in themselves, and reach for greater heights? And that's when it kind of clicked with me, where I was like, wow. And everything else I've done with life that I've seen success, it's been so short-lived because I didn't keep betting on myself. I didn't keep investing back into a skill that had the potential to change my life because I was either scared or I was too comfortable. And comfort is the number one killer of success. You can never be comfortable. Because in the ladder of success, this ladder is fucking infinite. And you can always reach for greater heights. And yeah, along the way of you becoming that version of yourself that has everything, you can stop and enjoy the view for a bit. But if you get too comfortable looking around, you're going to slip off and fall down the ladder 1,000 steps. And I say this because I genuinely want you guys to understand how important it is to just keep investing in yourself, so you keep getting to the next step. Dude, the second I started making good money with trading, I had accepted a job offer like 5 months back. And I remember starting that job and I was like, fuck, bro, what am I doing here? Like, I've spent all this time learning how to trade and now I'm seeing success with it. And now I'm working a fucking 9 to 5. And I'll never forget this. I literally remember showing up an hour and a half early every single day to this office. And I would get all my tasks done. And then from 9:30 to 11, I would lock myself in like this little quiet booth thing they had and just trade. And it made me realize, I was like, do I actually want to be here? Or am I just here because it gives me a sense of comfort that now I'm getting paid an extra $4,000 on top of what I'm making from trading? And I was like, I don't even fucking like being here. Everyone around me looks depressed. I walk into these meetings and these are not the people I relate to. These are not these like-minded, ambitious people that want to be their own boss and take control of their own life. These people enjoy taking orders from another person. They're comfortable doing this. I'm not. I want to get the fuck out of here. So I quit my job and I doubled down on a skill that I knew I was good at because I was getting comfortable and I couldn't let myself do that. And I had to push myself, I had to back myself up against the wall again and force myself to be in a position where I had no other choice but to make it work, but to invest in myself. So that being said, I quit this job 8 weeks in. I was living in an apartment alone and I spent every single day getting better at trading, trying to figure out how to scale my money, how to just make this something that could actually sustain that life that I've always dreamed of. And I remember every single time I would get payouts, put it back into getting more funded accounts and copy trading them and scaling them so I could go from having 10K months to 20K months, from 20K months to 30K months. Bro, and now I'm at a point where I can consistently see 100K months plus. And it's because I kept betting on myself. I will say it a million times. When you have a high income skill, you need to nurture it. You need to give it your life. You need to pour everything into making it grow because that is the only way you can truly see something's potential. And you will see a lot of people online who make a little bit of money from trading and they go ballistic. They start spending it all on chrome hearts and stupid shit and buying clothes when they can't really afford to be doing that, especially if they're trying to grow their profits and make it to the next step. And listen, there will be times where you can splurge, where you can fuck around, where you can have fun and travel the world. I mean, I've done it. I bought my dream car at 20 years old. I've traveled to 15 countries in like the last 6 months. But that's because I spent the last couple of years investing in myself and betting on myself. Not because I was out there spending all my money on stupid shit that would give me no return. And by the way, I'm still striving for something greater every single day. If you think that I'm comfortable now just because I'm making 6 figures a month, I'm not. That doesn't mean shit to me. I know I could be making way more, that I could be doing way more. And so every day my goal is to become a better person than I am today. Tomorrow I am a better person than I am today. And you'll see that very soon I'll have another one of my dream cars. I'll be living in a sick house. But what you won't see is how I'll be investing into myself every single day so I can get there. Guys, I've seen it so many times. People make their first bit of money and they just get so comfortable, and you let that skill go completely to waste. Stop chasing temporary satisfaction. I know it's easy once you start making money to go ahead and buy a bunch of shit because you want to prove to others that you have money, but that shouldn't be what satisfies you and what motivates you. You should be excited to make money because it opens opportunities for yourself. It allows you to put more money into your health, to share wealth with your family, and grow as a person aside from the materialistic shit. I mean, bro, I literally remember so vividly just being at the grocery store, and there was days where I didn't have enough money to buy like the organic eggs, and so I'd have to get the shittier eggs. And all I could think about was like, bro, like something as minuscule as this, like I can't wait for the day where I can just buy whatever I want from the grocery store and get these fucking organic eggs. And fast forward a couple of years, I'm sitting here thinking, damn, do I get the Turbo S or do I get the GT3 RS? And that's been the thought that's been driving me craziest in the last month. It's just crazy, guys. What a year of you devoting all your time, energy, and money to yourself can do. Your life can change 180 degrees if you pour everything into yourself. Stop getting distracted by things that aren't going to improve your life. Stop worrying about girls that aren't going to improve your life. Stop hanging around the people that call you crazy for being ambitious. Stop going out to the places where you're not wanted. And stop wasting your money on things that will give you no return. Treat life like it's a video game. You can spend your XP points building your skill sets and improving your character's abilities, or you can use it on buying a mask that'll make you look cooler but keep you in the same exact position that you're in right now. So unless you're satisfied being average, maybe don't bet on yourself. But if you truly want to change your life and be in a room full of millionaires, then you need to start being comfortable being uncomfortable and backing yourself up against the wall where you have no choice but to make it work and continue investing in yourself. Because like I said, you are your number one asset. And if you're scared to invest in yourself, that means you don't see the worth in yourself and you're not delusional enough to become a fucking millionaire. And you need to be delusional.